6-year court battle over.
He feels relief. He feels like justice was served.
A Windsor motorcyclist awarded millions. Fasten your seatbelts.
Buy today. Don't wait until tomorrow.
Gas prices push towards record highs amid the conflict in the Middle East. And tax deadline day.
What do you plan to do with your tax refund?
Well, hopefully to invest it into the stock market.
Probably spend it on more bills, unfortunately.
Probably take my family out on a vacation.
How to make the most of your money.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. Tonight, in a verdict described as one of the largest car crash jury awards in Windsor, Motorcyclist has been awarded more than $2 million. Joining us with the details on this tonight, CTV's Michelle Molesky.
Well, Stefanie, this is all in relation to a collision in London, actually, back in August 2019. A Windsor motorcyclist who wishes to remain anonymous had the right-of-way when a vehicle turned left into his path. Windsor lawyer Joanna Sweet says her client's life was drastically altered that day because of the injuries he suffered.
A fracture to his right wrist, and he's right hand dominant. A right femur fracture that needed a rod inserted, and then he needed a subsequent surgery on that leg. He also had some fractured vertebrae in his neck and a brain bleed, even though he was wearing a full face helmet at the time of the collision.
Sweet says they took the case to a jury after more than 6 years because the insurance company for the woman who caused the accident was only offering a few $100,000. The victim is 44 years old and he continues to struggle with his injuries, which has left him without the ability to work and provide for his family. After a 15-day trial here in Windsor, the jury sided with Sweet's client and ordered the insurance company to pay $2 million plus Sweet's legal fees. For her client, Sweet says the verdict isn't just about money.
I think it's fair to say that he feels relief. He feels like justice was served. We all did when that jury verdict came back, because this is a person who suffered tremendous injuries and has had a very real, tangible change in his life, and he's going to be suffering with it for the rest of his life. So to hear that verdict and just to know that he was believed by the jury and that the truth came out was so gratifying.
A jury trial in civil court is rare. Sweet says in Ontario, less than 5% of all civil cases are resolved outside of court. In this case, she says it was worth nearly 7 years of effort to get her client what he needs to make his life just a little bit easier. Stefanie.
Okay, Michelle, with our top story, thank you for this.
Welcome.
More pain at the pumps. Gas prices jumped 3 cents last night and are expected to rise an additional 8 cents a liter early Friday morning. These high prices are expected to last for another 6 months to a year.
How can you live? Because the month just fly. Rent, mortgage, the gas, the hydro, it's everything accumulates.
And with the price of gas, Maria is considering parking her car, but she knows that will cost her as well with the price of insurance.
It's a disaster.
Buy today. Don't wait until tomorrow.
The message from Dan McTague with Canadians for Affordable Energy.
But no matter where you are, you're moving towards about $1.88 to $1.90 a litre tomorrow at most stations here in Windsor.
These roller coaster prices are going to continue to trend upwards and fast.
Well, there might be a bit of reprieve on Saturday. We're looking at a major, serious, unprecedented supply shortage in global oil supplies, and that means that there's going to be upward pressure on oil prices throughout the month of May and June, even if there is a peace agreement between the United States and Iran.
It's not only Canada, I understand, but for a country like this, it's overboard.
McTague predicts we will reach $2 a litre by next week, and that's despite the most recent suspension of the federal fuel tax. On April 14th, Ottawa suspended the tax until September 7th, saving Canadians about 10 cents a litre at the pump.
If those two taxes had still been in place, we'd already be at about 15 to 20 a liter.
He estimates hitting a high of $2.20 in the month of May, which would break a record set in June of 2022.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous, and there's no way I can be paying for this, especially at my age. I drive a German car, so I take premiums, so I'm paying already about $2.10.
Whether you drive an EV or whether you don't drive at all, you're going to be impacted by this in terms of higher food prices and the cost of pretty much everything.
So how can consumers make the most of coping with these high gas prices? Is there a way to get through this difficult time? CTV's John Venevalley-Rao tackles that angle of this story.
Let's go check your tire pressure.
Teresa DeFelice with the CAA showed us one of the easiest things drivers looking to save on gas should do right now. Check the tire pressures on their vehicle and make sure they're at the recommended level, which is listed on a sticker you can find inside the driver's side door jamb.
Underinflated tires can reduce your fuel efficiency by 4%.
If a tire is underinflated, it has a higher rolling resistance, and the tire has to work harder to get down the road. A survey last year found only about a quarter of Canadian motorists check their tire pressure monthly. Another thing you can do, look in the trunk to see if there's anything you don't need and remove it. An extra 45 kilograms or 100 pounds in a vehicle can increase fuel consumption up to 1%.
If you were carrying around a bag of salt or sand to weigh down your car in the snow, it's time to take it out and help your fuel efficiency.
If you've got roof racks or bikes hanging off the rear, remove them when not in use because they can, of course, impact the vehicle's aerodynamics.
It causes a drag on your car, and your car has to work harder, which means it's using more fuel.
And experts say try to drive evenly and avoid hard acceleration and sudden braking whenever possible, with aggressive driving shown to lower gas mileage 15 to 30% at highway speeds. Consider using cruise control on the highway to make things steady.
It's nice to have slow acceleration, gradual speed increase.
According to Consumer Reports, another tip, skip the premium gas unless a higher octane is required for your vehicle. And checking gas prices online using apps and websites can help find cheaper prices in your area. That's because experts say prices in the city can vary as much as 10 cents between stations, so it can pay to check.
John Venevalley-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Essex County OPP and the Ontario Fire Marshal are investigating what they call a suspicious fire in Lakeshore. The fire broke out at a home on North Rear Road a little after 2:30 a.m. on Tuesday. The home was empty at the time. Police are asking residents and businesses in the surrounding area to review any available security or surveillance footage for suspicious activity around the time of the incident. Windsor police are looking for 3 suspects after 2 separate incidents involving weapons left 3 youth injured. Officers say a 12-year-old boy was threatened with a knife at a park on Lillian Avenue. A suspect cut his pant leg before the boy ran home safely. Around 40 minutes later, 2 16-year-olds were pepper sprayed near a community center on Ypres Avenue. Police believe the same suspect is responsible and say he was later joined by 2 others. The victim suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Anyone with information on this is asked to call police. Let's take a break now. Joining me, CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald for our first look at the weather from the top of the Bell Building tonight. Gary.
Stefanie, it's bright and sunny. This latter stage of the afternoon into the early evening has been pleasant, but breezy more so now, at least on top of the Bell Building. But at the surface, those winds will subside through the overnight. There's still a slight chance between now and midnight of some passing showers. They'll be coming from behind me, the northwest, and parts of Michigan are already seeing some of that rain. Over the next 2 to 3 hours, we'll also see temperatures dip by about 3 to 4 degrees, and we've only seen a high near about 12 to 13. We are below seasonal, and that too is going to be a big part of the story as we head into potentially a frosty overnight and an advisory in place. I'll break down what you need to know on that chilly front and the rest of the weather story in moments. For now, I'll send it back to you inside at the desk. Stefanie?
Another rally outside a local Conservative MPP's office where students and educators are calling for increased funding for education.
No ifs, no buts, no education cuts. No ifs, no buts, no education cuts.
We should be cutting other things, not the people who are building us and building our schools and building our communities, because the future generation matters just as much as we do right now.
About 80 people protesting outside MPP Andrew Dowie's office. The rally yesterday afternoon coinciding with Provincial Day of Action, demanding more education funding from the Ford government. Unions say job cuts are leaving staff short-handed, with students paying the price. In Windsor's French Catholic School Board, Local 4299 says officials voted to eliminate 40 positions earlier this week.
The message is come to the table, start funding this place properly, start putting measures in place to ensure that administration is properly administering the funds properly, to ensure that our kids have the proper education and that the essential services are there for those kids and the staff.
Construction season is here and it is about to intensify. The city of Windsor has 18 projects on the books for the season. Many of them start on Monday. CTV's Bob Belichico joins us with a list of roads to avoid. Bob.
Oh yeah, get ready for it. 7 projects get underway on Monday, May 4th, spanning 3 wards. Wards 2, 3, and 4. The big one, Riverside Drive. As you can see over my shoulder, they have the barriers and the sign ready to go. It's a 2K stretch starting from Goyo all the way to Devonshire Road. Work is already underway. The signs are pointing towards more starting up next week.
This is exactly the time of year where people say, gosh, the roads are so bad in this city. And as soon as May 1st comes, folks start saying, gosh, it's hard to move around this city because there's so much road construction.
In all, 7 construction projects will begin, with the biggest one taking place on Riverside Drive. 2 lanes will close, allowing for east-west traffic in the other 2 lanes.
There will be no doubt a little bit of pain as we move through the city. But you know what? Short-term pain, long-term gain.
On Riverside, full-depth asphalt, milling, and paving, curb replacement, sidewalks, and driveways expected to be done June 1st.
That's going to be a big one, and it's a road that a lot of people travel every single day. It's one of the busiest roads in the city, so that's going to be one that's going to make a big impact.
In Ward 4, 5 projects, including Chilver Road, Perrin Avenue, and Giles Boulevard East. All the work mirroring Riverside Drive, with some of the work to begin after the Tour de Via Italia cycling race in June. In Ward 3, 8 projects. Topping the list, Erie Street, Pitt Street, and Goyo Street. And in Ward 2, 5 projects, like Wyandotte Street West and Campbell Avenue. So anyone that's driven down College Avenue near the University of Windsor, just east of Huron Church Road, knows that this road here is really bad. And it's surprising to see that it wasn't included on the project list in Ward 2.
It's one I hear the most about, I would say. I'd say the challenge with that is there's negotiations with the Ambassador Bridge and, in that whole area. And so it's part of that negotiation process.
In the meantime, Ward 2 City Councillor Fraser Fathers says the city will continue to maintain College Avenue as best they can.
We're patching it in the hope that we get a deal that then sees that whole area sort of redesigned around whatever that future truck plaza and the land swaps move forward.
What about impact to local businesses?
The last thing we want to do is harm a business who's employing people and paying property taxes as we do this work. So we're going to work with them.
So that's about $12 million for the 3 wards. Projects from the other wards will be announced in the coming months. Stefanie?
Okay, the former Hudson's Bay store at Devonshire Mall now is said to be sold to the company that already owns the shopping center. According to a court-appointed receiver's latest report, Circle Retail Properties LP is in line to purchase the empty Hudson's Bay space at Devonshire Mall. Circle Retail already owns the rest of the mall, meaning the deal would give it full ownership of the entire property once finalized. The sale is part of a broader effort to dispose of former Hudson's Bay's location across all of Canada following the company's financial restructuring. In Windsor, the transaction is expected to be relatively straightforward compared to other sites since the buyer already controls the surrounding mall. With the deal, Circle Retail will have full flexibility to decide what happens to the large vacant space. That could include dividing it into smaller stores, bringing in new retailers, or redeveloping it for other uses. The sale still requires final court approval before it can be completed. Well, today is April 30th and personal tax deadline day. Most people have until the end of the day to file their 2025 taxes. CTV's John Venevali-Rao spoke to an expert about the best strategies if you're getting a refund.
2, 3, 4. We asked financial planner and author Jessica Morehouse to lay out $100 stacks of 20s to show what Revenue Canada says is the average tax refund.
So this is how much? This is
$2,000. And for those getting cash back, we had the simple question.
What do you plan to do with your tax refund?
Well, hopefully to invest it into the stock market.
Probably spend it on more bills, unfortunately.
Probably take my family out on a vacation, maybe just me and my husband. You know, kids are older.
According to a survey, only 9% of those getting a refund plan to spend it on something discretionary, like a trip or dining out. Morehouse routinely posts videos about financial matters and recommends people should first use the cash to establish an emergency fund that can cover 3 to 6 months of expenses.
And emergencies can take all types of forms. It can be job loss. I know a lot of people are really concerned about job security now more than ever, but it could also be your pet gets sick. Bam, that's a $700 vet bill.
If that's looked after, she recommends using the refund to pay down high-interest debt like on a credit card. With a recent survey finding 36% of cardholders don't pay off their monthly balance.
That's a great place to put it. And then, you know, figure out, why did we get into credit card debt? How can we make sure we don't get into credit card debt again?
If those are paid off, Morehouse thinks among other wise moves would be to save or invest within a tax-free savings account where your money can grow, or contribute to your registered retirement savings plan. And if you want fun money, she says it's okay to spend on that too.
For some people that don't want to just do all the boring stuff I just mentioned, maybe give yourself, 10 or 20% of your tax refund to do something nice with for yourself.
Meanwhile, surveys show about 4 in 10 Canadians are counting on their tax refund to pay for everyday expenses, a sign of the cost of living pressures many are facing. John Venevali-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
So this takes us to our question of the day. Have you filed your taxes? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday we asked, have you received a red light camera ticket? 600 people answered. 90% of them say no, they have not. Nearly 1 year gone, and RCMP are still looking for 2 missing children. Still ahead, what they are looking for now.
This is a potentially a very costly and dangerous plan.
Later, a potential plan for airports that some don't want to see get off the ground. And the new Old Town everyone is falling in love with. Tomorrow, what Sandwich Town is doing to capture hearts on both sides of the border. That's tomorrow at 6 on CTV News. Iran's supreme leader struck a defiant tone today in a written message to the U.S. that was read on state television. It stated, quote, the bright future of the Persian Gulf region will be a future without America. He also took a hard line in regards to Iran's nuclear potential, writing that Iran will protect its nuclear and missile capabilities as a national asset. That message contradicting President Trump, who once again today re-emphasized his conditions for a deal.
I mean, Iran is dying to make a deal. I can only tell you that. I don't want to get into the, but they cannot be nuclear.
And an update now from police on Jack and Lily Sullivan missing from their home in Nova Scotia for almost a year. The 4- and 6-year-old are believed to have wandered off into the woods away from their rural home. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth has the latest on this mystery and what police are now asking for.
The 1-year anniversary of the disappearance of Jack and Lily Sullivan is fast approaching, and the RCMP realizes the public expects answers.
Our investigators feel
the pressure.
On May 2nd of last year, Jack and Lily disappeared from their home in Lansdowne Station. Following numerous searches, only a pink blanket and a boot were found, and police say there is no evidence of abduction.
This investigation was always going to take time. There's been a lot of tips.
106 people have been interviewed. Police have received almost 1,200 tips. Staff Sergeant Rob McCammon is now asking the public for fact-based tips.
We just need facts and evidence.
This criminology professor says in cases like this, police can get bogged down with online social media speculation.
Those tips may be well-intentioned, but there's limited resources that the police have. If they don't follow up, they'll be blamed. If they do follow up and nothing comes from it, ironically, they're still blamed.
On Sunday, volunteers were back searching the heavily wooded area in Lansdowne Station, but there are no plans for the RCMP to resume a formal search.
We appreciate the efforts from the different groups that are trying to support our community.
Boudreau says in a missing persons case, the first 72 hours of the search are crucial.
Now that we are a year in, it makes it even more desperate.
Which is why McCammon is realistic about a positive outcome.
I think the chances that Jack and Lily are alive are very slim.
In addition to interviewing more than 100 people and responding to numerous tips, the RCMP also administered polygraph tests to family members, people living in Lansdowne Station and the surrounding areas. But they still can't say what happened to Jack and Lily Sullivan. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News.
Canada will be the headquarters for a new multinational bank focused on defense. It's a new venture that will help smaller companies get big loans to grow their companies to meet global security needs. CTV's Judy Trin takes a closer look at how it will work.
As NATO nations ramp up to spend 5% of their GDP on defense by 2035, a new multinational bank with headquarters in Canada is being created to help smaller companies access loans to expand.
By pooling together, we're stronger financially, and it's a testament to Canada's reputation, Canada's commitment, Canada's financial expertise.
The Defense, Security and Resilience Bank could consist of as many as 40 NATO nations and allies, all contributing to a funding pool of $135 billion U.S. You have in the Ottawa office? This Ottawa technology company uses AI to help the Royal Canadian Navy analyze the moves of enemy ships. Anvil wants to expand to Europe and is hoping the multinational defense bank will open doors.
Having people who have walked that path before and can help guide successful companies like ours through that path, I think that's a major benefit for Canada, and I'm very hopeful that the DSRB will be that will be one of those conduits.
Where in Canada the defense bank will be located hasn't been determined, but the lobbying has already begun from Vancouver to Montreal to Toronto.
We have all the banks here, the financial sector here.
The national capital is also making a case.
We're the home of 130 plus foreign missions and embassies. The World Bank is in Washington. It's not in New York City. This is the place where defense innovation is happening.
At this point, no start date for the bank has been set, and it's also unclear how much each member nation, including Canada, will contribute to the pool of funds. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Also tonight, Ottawa is considering privatizing airports, but not everyone is sold on the idea of selling off crucial public infrastructure. CTV's Abigail Beeman with more on why it's being discussed and where things stand.
More details trickling out about the government's plans to explore privatizing airports after the spring economic update said it's still on the table.
From place to place, from facility to facility, how we can maximize the gains for Canadians.
The transport minister says they will look at each airport separately. Ottawa owns 41. 23 of the biggest are leased to third-party airport authorities.
I think that's a very complicated issue, but I think they need to be more fiscally responsible. Maybe they wouldn't be selling off Canadian assets.
History is littered with examples of the failures of privatization, and this is a potentially a very very costly and dangerous plan.
With critics quickly coming forward, concerned about already high airfare and the potential for fees to creep higher.
I'm very suspicious because one group of people who are sure to gain from it are those who may be buying the airport.
Airport user fees account for about 30 cents of every dollar of a regular airfare that a Canadian purchases. That's not an insignificant cost. And so if there is a way to lower that, presumably you'd be able to increase your volumes.
This aviation lawyer says it's possible privatization could lower prices too. And at this point, the government seems to be looking at all kinds of options.
We need to take a very close look before we proceed, precisely because there are cautionary tales in private investment at airport, but there are also genuine success stories.
The head of Calgary's Airport Authority says he understands firsthand the pros and cons of privatization, but for now,
if we can have a structure that keeps our world-class safety and security, keeps a high quality and affordability for passengers, and we drive our economies, if we can do that in a better structure, let's do it. And so let's have that conversation.
Outside of Calgary, airport authorities across the country aren't saying much. The Canadian Airports Council sent us a one-line statement. They're working with the government on the evolution of the airport model and are exploring investment opportunities. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Markets in Toronto and New York ended higher today. In Toronto, the TSX gained 646 points. In New York, the Dow added 790. The Nasdaq is up 219. The Canadian dollar gained a third of a cent. On commodity markets, gold is up $68 an ounce and oil fell $181 a barrel. Later, one officer, hundreds of kilometers, and a powerful mission for neurodiverse children and their families.
Let's take a look at our CTV News weather snapshot. Thanks to Peter Koopmans for this great image of a male cardinal. If you've got an image, text it to us at 10400. We'll talk about the potential of frost, in particular in the Chatham-Kent area, and rain to follow for May 1st, tomorrow, the first day of May, a new month. Imagine that. Next on CTV News Windsor.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Ooh, that's a gorgeous pattern there. Gary joins me again for an extended look at the weather. And Gary, we're talking frost.
Cold enough that we could see it. I think closer to Chatham, Kent and the surrounds, Hero, Rondo Park, perhaps South Buxton might get into it. If you're looking out for your plants, always a good idea to get ahead of it and wrapping them up or covering them. Of course, taking care of our furry-legged friends, of course. They would like to be indoors when it gets cold, but it's a good stretch across southwestern Ontario, mostly the north shores of Lake Erie and further east towards the Golden Horseshoe and beyond. So frosty pre-dawn early tomorrow morning. We've reached highs in and around Windsor, Essex between about 11.5 degrees and 13. So far at the airport, unofficially 12.6 degrees Celsius under a mixture of sun and cloud. It was rainy this morning and gray, and then it just got more pleasant towards the afternoon. Now early evening. Air quality is good. Yet again, very low on the scale, so that's a good sign. Chatham-Kent having some technical issues with reporting in from the electronic weather station. I can tell you it's about 11.8 degrees Celsius there right now. 13 at the airport, so we're in the mid-50s on the Fahrenheit scale. A warm spot in the country is in BC and parts of southern Alberta. The foothills in Calgary, Red Deer getting into the mid to upper teens. Meanwhile, Thunder Bay's at 4 degrees. We're at about 10, 11 degrees in the GTA, and we are just above the 10-degree mark, and we'll get cooler in the next little while. This major system is bringing, in fact, two areas of low pressure It's a 2-in-1, essentially. But we have a layer of instability across Lake Huron that's pushing east and southeast, and with that, potential showers tonight into tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be a lot of rain, but rain tomorrow is a good possibility, and it's the southern element of this system moving through northern parts of Ohio that could bring even heavier bands. So we're watching out. Two areas coming together to combine to keep things gray and wet tomorrow. For tonight into tomorrow, showers still a possibility. Partly cloudy through midnight, and 5 degrees and a good chance of showers at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Enter Carousel, 7-day forecast, high of 9, showers in the morning. Saturday, Sunday, 10, then 14, cloudy, slight chance of showers. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we will be near 20 degrees, and then by midweek, drop to 13, then 10. Rain is the theme over the next 7 days.
Toronto Blue Jays outfielder Davis Schneider is turning a family tragedy into a message he hopes can save lives. Schneider is speaking out about losing his brother Steve to an opioid overdose at just 26, and he's now partnering with Emergent Biosolutions, the maker of Narcan, to push for wider access to naloxone. He says overdoses can happen to anyone and wants life-saving spray as easy to find as a fire extinguisher or a first aid kit. On Wednesday, Health Canada approved a low-cost generic option to Ozempic, a drug primarily used for type 2 diabetes and weight loss, but it's raising a whole new set of questions around who can take it, how it will be prescribed, and who will cover the cost. CTV Jean-Pierre Beauchemin is looking into all of this for us tonight.
Months after Ozempic's patent expired, Health Canada has given a generic the go-ahead. And the approval of India's Dr. Reddy Laboratories' copy has been applauded by many patients and advocates.
And there hasn't been a whole lot of options.
Obesity Canada's Eaton Patton says for him, semaglutides have been life-changing.
I had this voice in the back of my head always chirping at me, talking about, with that uncontrollable food drive. And having a treatment that allows me to gain control has been very, very impactful.
Like Ozempic, says Health Canada, the generic injection is indicated for the once-weekly treatment of adults with type 2 diabetes. But around 3 million Canadian adults currently take medication like Ozempic for diabetes and obesity. Still, doctors say some patients who would benefit steer clear because of money. The drug costs about $228 a month. Health Canada says many generic medications are 45 to 90% cheaper than the brand versions. And that price could go down with more generics on the market. Health Canada is reviewing 8 other submissions. That could also reduce expenses for provincial and private drug plans deciding to cover the generic. Approval comes after an extensive review of the generic's chemical composition and effects, but does not require manufacturers to do long-term effect studies, for instance, on heart attacks and strokes.
Based on the assumption that if it looks the same, it has the same biochemical properties, it's chemically the same drug, it should have the same long-term effects.
Experts applaud accessibility, but also warn against minimizing potential side effects.
This is a drug. It's not a candy. It's not a supplement. It is a medication.
The generic dosage approved now is for the treatment of diabetes, but advocates are watching to see what other generics will come and what the impact will be on the costs. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
A ceremonial kickoff today to an ambitious and meaningful journey from Windsor to Ottawa. It's one that aims to raise awareness and support for neurodiverse children and their families across the province. It's called the Autism Heroes Road Trip. York Regional Police Officer Adam McEachran started this morning on a multi-day journey running and cycling from Windsor to Ottawa. Colleagues, community members and supporters gathered to send him off on his 18-day journey in honor of his 2 sons who are on the spectrum.
They are meeting me in Ottawa. We're also stopping in my hometown of Alliston, Ontario. They're holding a large reception there. I've already talked to them this morning. They miss me tons. They're the reason I do it.
Coming up on What's Up YQG, we're going to be talking about Frozen. Now, Johnny, are you more an Elsa or an Anna?
Let's ask our friend here.
I think you're more a Sven.
Yeah, I could go with that. She's not much of a talker.
Stay tuned.
Ontario is considering a ban on cell phones in schools, concerned that students are spending too much time on the devices during the day. But studies show it's not just young people scrolling for hours on end. Many of us are also spending hours every day glued to our phones. Here's Pat Foran.
How much time do you spend on your phone each day?
Several hours, 5 hours a day. Listen to podcasts and whatnot, and then doomsday scrolling.
A recent survey shows people pick up their phones nearly 200 times a day on average and spend more than 4 hours a day on them. Nearly half say they feel addicted.
Too much.
Excessive screen time can affect sleep, stress levels, attention span, mental health, and even our ability to connect with people in real life.
So many notifications, so many texts, so many pings, all of your news is coming through your phone, all of your tasks and to-dos and emails are all coming through your phone, so that you get to a place of burnout where responding to a single text feels tiring.
Consumer Reports says there are simple ways to cut back and reclaim some non-screen time.
Start by just taking short breaks. Even just having your phone in another room for 20 minutes can help you build that comfort and tolerance being away from your device.
You can also delete or limit time-wasting apps like social media, even temporarily. Mute noisy notifications, set your phone to grayscale to make apps less tempting. Replace screen time with books, hobbies, or exercise. And ask friends and family to hold you accountable. And if you need more help,
depending on how much change you feel like you need, you could do anything from install an app that sets stricter screen time limits to downgrading all the way to an old school flip phone.
There are even tools designed to help, like a device called Brick, which blocks apps unless you physically tap your phone to unlock them. Whether you go high tech or back to basics, think less scrolling and more strolling. Pat Foran, CTV News.
A tough night for the Windsor Spitfires, who are now on the brink of elimination after a loss to the Kitchener Rangers on home ice.
For McLaughlin, he's trying to get something started. McLaughlin to the front, they'll score again! Back-to-back goals for the Spitfires, and they have a pulse.
The Spits were steamrolled 6-3 in Game 4 of the Western Conference Final, falling behind 4-0 before a third-period push. Frustration boiled over in the second, with fans throwing stuff on the ice after a hit that sent Spellecy to the box. The loss puts Windsor down 3-1 in the series and one loss away from another playoff exit at the hands of Kitchener, with Game 5 on Friday. Turning now to our weekly segment, What's Up YQG, with Johnny Parks from our sister station 89X and our own Melanie Kentner. Now, you're featuring a hit Disney musical that's happening in Windsor this weekend.
Yeah, Frozen is one of my favorites. Now, Johnny, are you more like an Anna or an Elsa?
Probably the reindeer. What's his, Sven? Is that it? Okay, yeah, I'm like the reindeer. We're here with Ruby. I take it you're more of an Anna yourself.
Yeah, Anna's always been my favorite for sure.
Can you tell us about the production?
Yeah, it's truly a spectacle. If anyone here hasn't seen Frozen, it follows the magical journey of self-discovery between two sisters, Anna and Elsa, and all of the fun, magical adventures that they go on throughout the show.
And how long have you been preparing for this role?
I've been preparing for this role for over a year now, since they first teased that they were doing Frozen. It's been a while.
And what can people expect to see on the stage in the show?
I'd say it's less about what they can expect to see, but more about what they can expect to experience. The set design for this is truly insane. Like, audience members are transformed inside of Arendelle. It's truly crazy. It's like you're there on stage living through the journey with the actors. It's crazy.
Amazing. And I love the soundtrack. So what is your favorite song?
That's a really hard question. For this, I'm gonna say my favorite song to perform is actually one that's not in the movie. I've come to love it so much because of this experience. It's called I Can't Lose You. So you're gonna have to come to the show to check it out to hear it.
Yeah, that's definitely the best call. We'll let you do the singing. We'll stick to the talking. So.
For sure. And we'll put the link so everybody can check out where to get tickets and all that fun stuff. Now, Johnny, there are a few other events that we have to mention this weekend. Yeah. Coming up, some Cinco de Mayo stuff.
Cinco de Mayo party all weekend long at Windsor East. Been looking forward to this and, of course, getting ready for Tuesday.
Yeah, and they have the Margarita Mile, too. And there are a few other Mexican-themed events going on.
Yeah, they've got a fiesta weekend kind of thing going on with a bunch of, I think, like a dozen different local breweries and distilleries and cideries, if that's a word, all participating in that.
Amazing. And something for rockers, too.
Tell me when it's Don't make me ask.
3 days grace at Caesars Windsor on Friday. This is going to be awesome. Royal Tusk is playing Finger 11, and I will actually be on stage as well, making a big announcement from 89X.
Amazing. Well, can't wait to see that. So thanks, Johnny, and thank you, Ruby. And that's What's Up, YQG.
This is your CTV Windsor Hour Community Calendar. Get ready to let it go with Windsor Light Music Theater's presentation of Disney's Frozen the Musical. Tickets on sale now. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Travis Fortnum. Travis, more tonight on the price of gas.
Yes, always happy to talk about gas prices. It impacts all of us. Not so happy to see how high prices are these days, though, but we have not hit our historic high yet. We saw that in June of 2022 when regular gas was priced at $2.15, and that was for a number of reasons. First off, pandemic restrictions were lifted, and there was a surge in travel resulting in high demand for fuel. Refineries were hesitant to ramp up production quickly, causing a crunch in the production of finished products like gasoline and diesel. Russia-Ukraine war also just started, and global sanctions. And during that time, it was summer driving season, so the refineries had to already switch to producing more expensive summer gasoline blends. We've got those details and more online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And we also have an online story with some spring home safety tips, this coming from Windsor Police.
Yeah, many of us are getting out of our homes this time of year, right? We're spending more time out in the backyard or we're going for walks. Windsor Police are reminding residents that it's also a critical time to bolster home security while you are out. Police are recommending a few key steps, such as trimming back overgrown shrubs and trees around your home to remove potential hiding spots, installing motion-activated lights around your exterior, especially near walkways and entrances, and use doorbell cameras to identify visitors and discourage unwanted guests. This and all your local news updates online anytime. And in our social spotlight, an unlikely duo form a friendship at a Budapest zoo. A tiny endangered lion tamarin, that's the monkey here, has become besties with an anteater. Here they are sharing some yogurt, I think. There's all kinds of video of the pair. I saw one in the anteaters subreddit, which, yes, that is a thing, of them cuddled up. The zoo says the monkey was rescued from smugglers. They also say the anteater will grow to be 20 times the size of that little guy. But I bet their friendship is still going to stick around. I mean, I have a lot of friends who are a lot shorter than me.
And you guys still are friend and cuddle?
Exactly.
You guys cuddle?
Yeah, and we share yogurt. I don't get it all over my face like him, though, but he looks really cute with it on his face.
They
so
look like the cutest little couple.
Yeah, they're besties. That's
Aww,
so cute.
so adorable. Okay, if any of our viewers want to send us video, how can they do it?
If you have video like that, definitely send it to us. You can email it to us at newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to us at 10400.
Jumper cables and raging floodwaters. Gary, are those more like stratus clouds or cumulus?
A little fractus there because there's separation, and but it was a little bit of a mix. It was altocumulus, mid-level cumulus, a little stratiform in the back towards the right. Well, what way was I facing? It would have been to the west, but good call. Speaking of clouds, it will be cloudy tonight, cloudy tomorrow, cloudy the next day. It's going to be cloudy for the next 7 days straight. take a look at our Intercarousel 7-day forecast. More scattered showers tomorrow. High, a cool 9 degrees. Our average for this time of the year is 16. 10 degrees on a mostly cloudy Saturday, 14 on Sunday. Again, still a chance of showers both days. Pardon me. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll see 19, 20, then 13, and then perhaps down to about 10 or 11. So a bit of this waveform in terms of being up and down with temperatures, but it's part and parcel of the time of the year.
Okay, thank you, Gary. Finally tonight, quick thinking. Cops in Texas diffused a very dangerous situation by using jumper cables as a makeshift lifeline. Correspondent Jeremy Roth shows us the rescue.
A tense and technically challenging rescue situation amid raging floodwaters forced Texas rescuers to get creative by getting jumper cables involved. Officers with the White Settlement Police Department responded to reports of a woman and 3 kids in a car trapped in rushing floodwaters. Rescuers got the children to safety, but the woman was trapped in the front of the car, which was teetering toward the fast-moving waters.
I need something to get wrapped around her.
A quick-thinking officer grabbed a pair of jumper cables and used them as an improvised lifeline, instructing the woman to anchor herself with the cables in case she was swept away. Fire officials soon arrived and pulled the vehicle back from the brink, and all 4 family members were brought to safety and unharmed.
A very scary situation.
Yeah, turn around, don't drown. I'm not saying that she was purposely driving into rising waters. Of course, we never want to do that. But flooding is obviously the result of heavy rainfall in a very short period of time, and arguably is the most deadly form of weather-related deaths on the planet.
And thankfully, those officers were prepared and clearly trained properly in any situation.
They did a great job.
Okay, on behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And Gary, you, along with Sanjay, will be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11.
See you then.